Hello again and welcome to everyone who has recently subscribed to my channel. Thank you very much for joining us. I like to think we are like-minded people here. It's not an echo chamber, you can be a lefty and join us. But my challenge to you is be a lefty without being abusive, if that's not hard for you, anyway. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why not? You're missing out on all the fun. Anyway, welcome to my latest in a series of videos where I tell you about right-wingers, conservative types, or just people with good old-fashioned common sense giving it to these lefties, these woke prima donnas on social media, Twitter or X, especially being put in their place, and rightly so. Now, you know as I do, if X was still Twitter and still run by those complete fascists, and that's what they were, these people clamped down on people with opinions they didn't like. And they don't like that, do they? They don't like people pointing out that they're wrong on such a public forum. The people who used to run Twitter, Jack Dorsey and his woke gang, they would have made damn sure this would not have happened. Anyway, so the latest feud is Douglas Murray and Alastair Campbell. If you don't remember Alastair Campbell, well, he's still active on X. He's, as much as he is allowed his opinion, again, they're all wrong, in my opinion, and I have a right to say that. He would take that right away from me if he had the chance. This guy desperately wants Elon Musk to give up Twitter so it could be an echo chamber for him and his mates. He was, of course, Tony Blair's spin doctor. He was quite reviled, actually. He was not very much liked, even by the inner circle of Tony Blair, because in the end, Tony Blair was forced to fire Alastair Campbell, according to sources, because Campbell was, and I quote, deranged, vindictive, and out of control, end quote. He was the guy who helped to sex up the dodgy dossier which led to the Iraq War, of course, and the deaths of millions of innocent people. Now, Alastair Campbell had a pop at Douglas Murray after Douglas Murray gave an opinion as to the explanation what's happening in the United Kingdom right now. And to me, listening to Douglas Murray, the guy makes sense. He is a fantastic debater, I think second only to the late great Christopher Hitchens. He says things very eloquently, he talks sense, and he can spar with the best of them, in my opinion. And all I can say is, thank goodness Douglas Murray is on our side. So Alastair Campbell took umbrage with this because, of course, he doesn't like Douglas Murray and everything he stands for. And he said, I quote, I think the Met Police might want to take a look at his book plug, end quote, suggesting something sinister and, of course, a racist and Islamophobic going on with the piece by Douglas Murray. Of course, it wasn't. So basically, Alastair Campbell wanted the Met Police to arrest Douglas Murray for writing a book. Now, if anyone needs arresting, and it's long overdue, it's Tony Blair and Alastair Campbell over that dodgy dossier that led to the Iraq War. You know, compared to what Alastair Campbell did, Douglas Murray, he wrote a book about immigration policy and wanted to prevent people saying there's a civil war coming to this country. I don't know about that yet, but you can make your own opinions on that. But this book is an intellectual piece, and it is what it is. It doesn't call for violence or hatred against anyone, any demographic, for whatever reason. It's a book explaining about what's going on in the UK, and it gives a sober opinion about how to maybe prevent any upcoming madness that'll be a residue of society and what's happening. And Alastair Campbell's dodgy dossier was, of course, full of untruths about weapons of mass destruction, and led to, I think, is one of the major war crimes of this century so far. That's just my opinion. Anyway, Douglas Murray hit back, and rightly so, by saying, and I quote, Alastair Campbell is just a very sick man. By his own admission, probably guilty over the death of David Kelly. As I said before, to his face, most people want to hear him talk about truth and politics as much as we'd want to hear Jeffrey Epstein talk about the age of consent. Unquote. That's a typical Douglas Murray comeback, and he's quite scathing. You know, if you're going up against him, you better have your wits sharpened, because he will cut you to ribbons. As for Alastair Campbell being responsible for the death of David Kelly, who knows? But that certainly was a suspicious suicide, if you want to call it that. Look into it, folks. You're not stupid. Google David Kelly. It'll tell you all about it. And then he hit him again with this. I think the Met Police might want to look into the hundreds of thousands of Iraqis, plus British soldiers who lost their lives after Alastair Campbell cooked the books and lied about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Also, perhaps how mental health pro Alastair Campbell hounded David Kelly to suicide, end quote. Again, a typical scathing, stabbing Douglas Murray reply there. And, you know, if Alastair Campbell had anything to do with the suicide of David Kelly is up for speculation. But I don't think he's ever addressed it, has he? And there we go, a fantastic lesson in how to own someone in an eloquent, bitchy way. But it's true, isn't it, what he said? I mean, regardless of the Dr. David Kelly bit, everything he said there was absolutely true about Alastair Campbell, a loathsome left-wing individual, even kicked out of his own Labour Party at one point. But there we go. Fantastic to watch this on X. Like I said, if this was Twitter, people like Elon Musk and Douglas Murray and everyone else putting these lefties to rights, they'd have their accounts gone because they're not allowed to do that, are they? Anyway, there we go. Hope you enjoy. I'm Paz49. Thanks for watching. And until the next time, Roger Trout.